So this video is probably going to take a little bit longer because it's a video that I'm making for financially conscientious gamers. So gamers that are gaming savvy are probably going to find some interest in this. Now, this article is very telling. NBA 2K producer says microtransactions are just a part of gaming. Now, there are many people who are gaming, who are gamers and they're financially conscientious and they want to make really informed decisions. So this is a discussion video. It's an op-ed in a sense, or opinion piece, or whatever you want to call it. So if you really don't care for microtransactions and if you think, they're not a big deal, that loot boxes are not a big deal, pay to play is not a big deal, or, getting early access because you pre-ordered, or buying a digital deluxe edition and getting 7 days ahead, of the game is not an issue, then you probably won't like this video. So, but that's not necessarily the reality of, things. You may or may not like the video, but you may, still find something useful. So I would encourage you to watch the video, or if you just think, it's going to be something that doesn't really interest you, then I would say, leave a comment and so we can know your position and all that good stuff. But this video is designed to speak to, the financially savvy and conscientious gamers, people who want to just, implement that old school mentality and kind of look at the world through that lens. And so this article is very telling, and I feel the need to actually read this entire article. So, bear with me. My reading may not be something that is enjoyable to you, but, you get the point. And I'll encourage you to read the article too. That way you can, digest it and all that good stuff. So this article written by Chris Littlechild, September 6, 2018, which was just yesterday. It says there's so much division in the world today. What we need more than ever is something to bring us together. A common cause to rally around. Video games and the gaming industry are a fine one, but there are still all kinds of controversial issues inherent in that. 2K Games isn't really helping matters with their views on microtransactions. Different approaches and models are being used by a variety of publishers across all platforms. In some cases, you buy a complete full-price game, and that will be the end of it. Other times, you don't pay a dime for the game itself, but it keeps getting all up in your business within app purchases until you give in. In fact, this cites the game Harry Potter, Hogwarts Mystery took this new and frightening extreme, leaving you to watch your character being choked by Devil's Snare unless you drop some cash. This isn't simply a mobile game problem, either having crept into just about every gaming format. Was it consumer gullibility? Is it simply the way the winds are blowing? Are developers and publishers getting even more cash hungry? According to 2K Games, this is just the way of the industry at the moment. Speaking to Trusted Reviews, Rob Jones, senior producer of the NBA 2K series, stated that the franchise's familiar VC bucks are an unfortunate reality of modern gaming. All of the recent backlash about these sorts of practices has led the team to reevaluate certain practices, but the bottom line seems to be that there's no getting away from in-game currencies and purchases thereof. So, this is a big lie, by the way. Most people that want to make money will say random things like this. Like EA was saying, a few months ago or last year that gamers don't want single player experiences, when in 2018, that's pretty much all that has actually, rocked the entire AAA world. And so what he's saying is it's a reality that we can't get away from. We just can't leave this money on the table because there are, gamers who want to pay, for this. Now, in the West, the disposable income is what they call it, disposable income, which it doesn't mean the income should be disposed of. It just means, financially, the West does have a higher per capita. And so, so the trend is actually that, companies will find more ways to market and actually resell or upsell their customers. And so this is just a marketing practice. But if you're a financially savvy gamer, that there's much more, there are much better things to do with money than to actually even buy video games in the first place. Yes, I have a gaming YouTube channel, and my channel actually depends on people who buy and enjoy video games. But I'm a gamer, and the statistics says that the average gamer is about 35 years of age. And so, yes, the demographics of the kids who played the early video games, Mario, are still the people who are today grown adults. Family men and women, playing video games. And so it's natural that will be it. So I know I'm speaking to adults in a situation like this. But, this gaming practice doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere because it's not illegal. You can try to, whatever you call it in America, especially America, which is supposed to be like, where everybody's looking to. Some countries like Belgium and Netherlands have actually put some real, tight hands on loot boxes, which is another conversation for another day. But what can financially conscientious gamers do in situations like this? Well, I have some ideas that I wanted to share. And if you have some ideas, please put them in the comment section below. And some ideas include, things like actually, being willing and able to do the adult thing. I'm not trying to call anybody a child, but there's a saying that says an adult does what is actually, wise, and a child does what feels right. So it may feel right to buy a video game because of all the hype and all the marketing. The marketing is designed to pull your heartstrings, and they want to reach into your wallet. And so they tell you buy the digital deluxe edition and you're going to get, this game 7 days before everybody else. But if you go talk to wealthy people are going to tell you, and I mean, I'm not wealthy by any means, I'm still learning. I'm reading books. I want to develop myself. And so I that's the only way I can speak to wealthy people, by reading about them. You can't just find, somebody down the road, somebody who wants to be who's financially savvy and is financially, let me say accomplished in a sense, and just, talk to them. You don't run across those people easily. But if you read books, you'll learn a few things. And financially savvy people will tell you that, some purchases are not worth, what it is that is being sold to you. There's what we call depreciation value, and that's the state of video games today. So if you look into depreciation value, you're going to see that if you actually wait for just a few more minutes, the game is actually going to get cheaper, or whatever it is you want to buy is actually going to lose value, which then increases its value to you. Like, I have a classic example right now as we speak. Spider-Man, that came out literally today, is already pretty much 20% less if you go on eBay. People are literally renting it and selling it. It's just what people are doing. I'm not saying it's a practice that I condone. I'm not saying it's whatever, but if I go on there, if I really wanted to buy the game and I saw a game that was less than its dollar price, I'm going to buy. It's listed on eBay. eBay's policies have not in any way flagged it as a product that can be sold. And people are selling their used copies of the game. Some people have bought the game, they removed it from the collector's edition, and are trying to pawn it off for way less. So already, from a $59.99 sale tag, you already now, for a digital version, let's just say for a digital version, you have now put yourself in a position where you're saving about 20%. And if you beat the game and you really want to be a financially cheapo person, you can take that game and flip it again and make some money out of it. If you want to go crazy, there are options like Redbox do, where you can actually rent the game, for a whole weekend. Redbox will give you the game, I said for 3 days. Redbox will give you the game for $7. So if you can't beat the game, in 3 days, then keep it for another 3 days. That's $14 or $15. So the money, as you're looking at it, starts to make sense to you because you're the person who's saving money, and you're the person who's actually applying, what we call financial savviness, or what we call financial wisdom in a situation like this. And so a lot of people don't care about pre-orders. They feel like they have the money. The money is not a thing. But wealthy people don't say things like that. They don't say money is not a thing. What we see in, all these, so-called the age of media and celebrity life is that, celebrities, are rich and they have all this money. And so sometimes we want to live large like that. But if you have any knowledge of financial discipline, you'll know that deep down inside, you should not be doing or buying, anything that's just sold to you. Now you can buy a brand new video game if you want to genuinely support the developers. I'm not against that at all. In fact, I've done that before where I've, been happy with the product and I've, bought extra copies of a video game. I even bought, DLCs because I was extremely happy with the game. That's not a problem. But with these microtransactions trying to find ways to get you to spend money, those practices, in my opinion, are just predatory, and there are people that will fall for them. The EA issue where this guy found out, got his data from EA and found out he had spent about $10,000 on EA microtransactions for FIFA Ultimate Team. And yes, he said he had the money to blow. But to be honest, did he really have the money to blow? I mean, what's the value of $10,000 invested in, stocks, invested in maybe a mutual fund toward his retirement, that he can look back and say, man, I wish I put this money into a nest egg for myself. Conscientious gamers are thinking about those things. We're sitting playing video games for entertainment, but that doesn't mean we've, forgotten what life is really about. And so that's why I'm making this video, and I'm going to make a series of videos, you know, addressing these issues and talking to people that are like-minded and thinking about these things. You know, hype is real. Heartstrings are real. I'm sitting here itching. I really want to go buy this Spider-Man game. I really want to go drop that $60. But then I saw it on eBay for less, and I'm like, oh, it's going to keep going down. I mean, no harm to Insomniac. You know, someone's already paid for the game anyways. If I buy it as a secondhand copy, no problem. You know, and that's fine. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, I have all this money in the world to throw out there. I don't, honestly. You know, if I'm thinking of building a nest egg, if I'm thinking of building a financial future of any kind, then I have to apply financial savviness and financial wisdom. It may not look all glamorous. It may not look all nice, especially in the world where everything is about flash. I don't care about flash. It doesn't bother me. Like, if you notice, if I wanted to do flash, I would do flash, but I really don't care about it. And so I know there are people who are thinking the same things and are looking at these companies saying, really? That this is the reality of today, and we're going to just silently boycott them. That's what's going to happen. They're going to receive a big shock when they wake up after a decade and find out that a very conservative generation is coming right behind us. They are very smart. These kids that have been born and not known life without a cell phone, they are very, very smart. They can look up information and find free-to-play games, free-to-play models, and find things that they are actually passionate about, gaming companies that have great customer ethics. Not this nonsense that this guy is doing. You know, he's talking about, you know, he says his argument is a popular one. Microtransactions allow this says, microtransactions allow busy gamers to save grinding time while still able to compete with others when they hop online. We know nowadays that most people don't have the patience to work their way to the top. They just want to be there right away. He said, reinforcing the whole pay to win mentality that makes microtransactions so controversial. Really, like, I mean, you know, like I said, the people that I'm speaking to have an old school mentality, so this doesn't even apply because, you know, yes, you know, a game like God of War, 20 something, 30 hours of gameplay. You know, I beat it twice. I mean, I haven't beaten the last Valkyrie, my second run, and I want to run New Game Plus, but it took me a few months. I mean, I wasn't rushing anywhere. It's like I was in a race to beat the game. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? Like, I have a real life. I do YouTube as part-time, so I have I have life, work, and a family, and that's most gamers. So most gamers are not trying to beat, you know, the game immediately. Like Shadow of War, also, they cited that here. I think it was this article, maybe another one. It's another article that I actually have here. Middle of Shadow of War, they had to eventually come back and remove the microtransaction marketplace because they put it there before for under the mantra of, oh, gamers don't really have time. You know, they need to be able to grind and they need to be able to cut through the grind and actually get the, you know, the achievements and beat the game as fast as they possibly can. And that's not true. That is absolutely not true. There are gamers who looked at the game and laughed. I bought the game, but, you know, I bought the game on PC, so I got a good discount too. So that's another way to go. So if you're a financially savvy person, you know, we need to talk, man. Leave stuff in the comment section. This video is already approaching 15 minutes, and I want to be very respectful of your time. So I appreciate you for even staying through this conversation. I'll do some more stuff like that. It's probably not going to get it's not probably going to get a huge whoop-to-do. But if it gets a lot of views, then definitely. If you can share it with somebody, share it with somebody. Like the video so, you know, the algorithm can say, yay, people like the video. Dislike the video. It also helps me as well that the algorithm can say, well, people don't like this video, and I can restructure my format. But the message is still central. Microtransactions are not all in all. There are things that financially conscientious gamers can do with their money and add value to their lives, to their families, to their societies. So these predatory practices don't pull our heartstrings and we miss out on the most important things in life. That's all I got to say. Thank you very much for your time and your audience. I'm going to get out of here for real, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.